A new report shows our state's unemployment rate dropped from 9.5% in April to 9.3% in May.
That's true, and it's great news to see that number shrink just a bit, but that's still more than 1 in 9 people without a job in our state. Arizona has been one of the worst hit states in our country when it comes to the jobless rate and this recession. It's not good news if you're looking for a job out there.
Yeah, no question. Last week, more than 11,000 students graduated from ASU who are now being thrust into the Phoenix workforce. So how do they do it? Well, joining us right now, Michael Hayes. Michael, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Michael with Momentum Specialized Staffing, correct, right here in Phoenix
Yes.
Valley?
Nice to have you with us. Well, so let's just talk a little bit about those 10,000 grads, 11,000 grads now. What do we need to know as far as advice as they're kind of heading out there?
Well, they need to be very well prepared when they go out on interviews. Make sure you follow directions, dress appropriately, pay attention to what people tell you to do in interviews. Watch how you fill out applications, be very truthful. You'll have about 80% of the people beat if you follow those type of suggestions.
We know when you and I were in college, you'd get
I
way
can't
back
remember.
in the day. The resume was the big thing. You'd walk in with a resume.
In my first job, I went in with a leisure suit on, so I
Did you?
remember that. Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Polyester and brown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And bulletproof.
And bulletproof, probably. Yeah, absolutely.
It
Yes,
needs
that's
to
where
be
we were.
bulletproof today. When you're talking about a resume, though, that's not the thing that people really should be so focused on in this younger generation.
Well, most people that get resumes like myself, we get thousands. We spend less than 5 or 6 seconds looking at a resume.
Wow.
So you go in and focus right on the experience level or what you've been doing, while you were in school. We don't look at all the fluff that goes with it.
Are there tips for people with a resume, though, Michael, where a different colored paper, a different type of paper, anything like that, a picture on it, anything like that makes a difference?
No, I think the picture thing's kind of annoying. Personally,
No, that's good to know, yeah.
I think I wouldn't do that. I would just use a regular plain piece of paper. But a lot of this stuff is going through email.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
really the paper is, probably something you don't need to spend a lot of money on.
Well, and you're talking about electronics, so let's go a little farther. When you're looking at that networking that's out there, you got to talk about Facebook and Twitter
absolutely.
and your social sites and things. Are those the ways you kind of get your name out these days more than the resume?
Yes, but I think more importantly would be like LinkedIn, which is more
Yes.
of the
Professional.
professional Facebook.
Right.
And you probably should have already been experimenting with that already. There's a lot of ways to find out who you're going to be interviewing with. And companies, there's a lot of information on places you are going to interview. So you need to know about that company. If you walk in and they go, what do you know about my company? And you go,
Not much.
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
just
not
wasting
good.
everybody's time.
These are tough times economically, too, Michael. I mean, a lot of these kids coming out of college, they're trying to just live. They're trying to come up with living expenses, how do they live. A lot of these kids are moving back home, I guess, too, huh?
Well, that's one of the suggestions that I had that, of course, parents won't be very happy with. But if you can reduce your expense, maybe you can take a job that's not exactly what you want, just to get some experience on your resume, real world job experience, and then wait for something to come, down the road
Right.
as the economy improves.
So you're not so pressed to find money to pay for that apartment.
Yeah,
Pay for
and
all this.
there's a real movement of that right now. They're called the boomerang generation, where they're really kind of boomeranging back into the house. So that does help with the finances. So I want to go back to a thing you just said, which is that you look at thousands of resumes. Because there are parents out there right now who are going, so how do I get my kid noticed? Give us some quick tips.
Well, you need to spread the word from your regular network. I mean, your parents might know people too. There might be people in your neighborhood. People that you already know is probably the best place to start. Just going out and meeting a bunch of total strangers right off the bat, it's not going to be as effective.
Yeah.
But you need to take time to develop that. But I think people in your circle that know you, that's where the leads will come from jobs.
Is there a most important thing that these kids or people need to know right now in looking for a job?
Be careful how you present yourself. Don't talk to anybody down or make comments in the office, because everybody hears them. Everybody in my office could come in and say, hey, we heard them talking about this out in the lobby, and totally disqualify you.
Yeah.
So you need to be in there to interview, not in there to talk on your cell phone
Yeah.
or to be talking to other people in the office about your issues.
So bottom line is, jump on LinkedIn, really start doing some social networking there. understand who you're interviewing with and really know their background so you can ask some intelligent questions of the company clearly, right? Shut off the cell phone and then really focus on the job. And if you can't find a paying job, is it okay to jump into an internship again after college just to keep your foot in the door of that industry?
Well, especially if you're living with the parents. I mean, an unpaid internship is going to be better than sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah.
And or volunteering like a hospital or something.
Mom and Dad probably agree.
Yeah, I think so.
Michael, thanks for being with us. We
Yeah, we
appreciate it.
appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you.
Good to meet you.
All right.
You go ahead.
Well, we're going to focus